Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast of the Ladies of Injustice. I am your host, Jeanna Kenney. Thank you for tuning in. We thank you incredibly so much for being so patient with us while we've been trying to get things up and going. Unfortunately, I co host with my dear friend Roberta Cleveland. She is unable to join us tonight due to some unforeseen circumstances. Um, missing her greatly, but I still thought it was really important for me to jump in here and go live because we have some really important events coming up. Not just for myself, but we also have Alfred Cleveland and the Voices of Injustice. They have a play coming up on September 5th at Playhouse Square here in Cleveland. I watched this play um, one of the first times that they actually did it, and I will tell you what, it was an absolute tearjerker. It's a must see. So we want to promote that a little bit tonight as well. I will point you in the right direction on how to get those tickets. And then we will touch really quick on wrongful conviction day. And also, my husband has an oral argument tomorrow. So we have a couple of bit of actions we're asking of you. So, like I said, Roberta won't be joining me tonight. It'll be me here with you. Roberta will be back soon, but right now I just wanted to take this episode to share something very personal, very close to my heart, the story of my husband, Peter Kenney Jr. I also want to take this opportunity to highlight something that affects millions of families worldwide, and that's International Wrongful Conviction Day. It's recognized every year to raise awareness about the injustices that are happening with these wrongful convictions, the devastating impact it has on individuals and families, the urgent need for reform, the urgent need to abolish absolute immunity, the urgent need to start holding those that are um, the ones doing these wrongdoings, holding them accountable. It shouldn't be up to the taxpayers to be footing the bill of wrongful convictions. So yeah, tomorrow we face one of the most crucial moments in the fight for my husband. We have an oral argument. We are asking for solidarity. We are asking people to come join us. We will be down on Lakeside Avenue. The address is just one, West Lakeside Avenue. It's the courthouse across the street from the Justice Center. We will be meeting up about 9:15 promptly and hopefully doing like a little prayer circle and heading into the courthouse for his oral argument. I am nervous. I am anxious, but the time has come. We've been waiting for a moment like this for many years now, and it feels surreal for real. So tonight we're going to talk about his case a little bit, the road we've been on, the pain, the perseverance, the hope that tomorrow could finally bring us closer to freedom. So yeah, let me get started by taking you back, way, way back. Peter was just a teenager when he was convicted. Just a kid really full of life, full of potential, had no idea of what was about to hit him or happen to him. At the age when when most young men are figuring out who they are, Peter was pulled into a system that was ready to devour him. He was thrown to the wolves. And for the last 24 years, Peter has been incarcerated for something he did not do. So yeah, imagine that. 24 years of birthdays, holidays, graduations, families, births, milestones, all spent behind bars. It's incredible how strong he stands still today. Even though that's my husband, I will say he's one of the um, most courageous men I've ever met. Like, he is a man of his faith. He is a man of family. He every day just keeps waking up and fighting, knowing that he's one step closer. So yeah, lost most of his life due to a wrongful conviction. I believe it was a very intentional wrongful conviction, yet somehow manages to still stand, still fight, and still be hopeful. So yeah, tomorrow is our oral argument. Um, He filed a motion to vacate his sentence. It was unfortunately dismissed dismissed with lack of jurisdiction by law. There was no reason that was stated as to why it was dismissed in the manner that it was dismissed in, but we are very hopeful that this appeals process will see him through and he'll receive his due process. Because these wrongful convictions, they're not just rare mistakes, they're patterns. They happen because systematic failures, mistaken eyewitnesses, testimony, prosecutorial misconduct, coerced witnesses, statements, bad legal representation, sometimes just plain indifferences to the truth. His case is a painful example of all of this. So yeah, come out tomorrow and hopefully you'll see some of the injustices he's had to face and how similar it may seem to someone that you know that's wrongfully incarcerated. So let me give you a clearer picture of what has happened in his case. The specifics are that I myself have been the one who has advocated for him. Um, I came back into his life back in 2015. Um, we started visiting, we started, talking every day. Right before COVID happened, I started requesting documentation, police records, prosecutor records, clerk of courts records. I requested anything and everything I could. And I'm going to tell you the things that I seen was very sickening. A lot of the information that I uncovered was information he wasn't even aware of. I even found DNA evidence. It was said that there was no DNA other than the victim's DNA on scene. And there was a toxology report, page 2, that I disclosed while, investigating his files myself. And it stated that there was DNA found on the victim's shoe that did not match his, and they could not make a conclusion as to whose DNA it was. So there's another avenue of innocence. There's so many people that were coerced and threatened by the cops and the detectives, uh, threatened that if they didn't cooperate with them or say what they wanted them to say, they would also be charged with an accessory to the crime. They were harassing juveniles left and right, speaking to these children without their parents or guardians or anything with them to even speak to them. They were terrorizing the neighborhood. He was arrested in 2001. He was accused and he was charged with aggravated murder, kidnapping, and aggravated robbery. He was convicted of the aggravated murder and the kidnapping and was sentenced to 30 years to life. And then they gave him 2 gun specs here in Ohio. Those are 3 years automatically on the top before they even start their life sentence. So he has yet to see the parole board. His first chance technically wasn't until 2037. By the grace of God and great advocates of Ohio, there was legislation that was passed where it puts anyone who was convicted of a crime as a child to see the parole board at 25 years. So next year is now his new parole year. And we hope and pray that this oral argument will push us to his evidentiary hearing and hopefully out on bond before we even see the parole board. Oh, I have somebody at my door, of course. Um, Sorry. 1 second, y'all. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. As you guys know, I do take care of my nephew, little Peter, and we had unexpected guests over, so I apologize about that little delay. Yeah, so he was accused of aggravated robbery, aggravated murder, and kidnapping. He was charged or he was convicted of aggravated murder and kidnapping, sentenced to 30 years to life, and 2 gun specs. So 36 years to life. I think I was going with the parole board. So yeah, he will see the parole board next year because of a juvenile bill that had passed here in Ohio. Um, but from the beginning, there were major red flags. There was no physical evidence, no weapons, no reliable eyewitnesses, misconduct by the investigators, police misconduct. The detective that led the case was obviously doing his damnedest to try to pin anything he could on my husband. And it's very evident from all of the files that I had came across. And that's why I always tell people, if you know me, you know I've told you, request everything. Everything must be requested. You have to start um, from point A to point Z. And I'm going to tell you what, it's going to get very frustrating. It's very hard. It's um it's sickening. It's really sickening what they've done to my husband, and I can't really wait until it comes out to the public. I know we hear of these wrongful conviction cases all the time, um, but just knowing as a child what they do to them, it's sad, and you'll never be able to um, even give him back his life or any in any way, shape, or form. But we just hope that justice is served very soon, because it's been a long road, a long journey. Yeah, the trial itself was a tragedy. Um, the public defenders that we had, I know everyone always says that, well, that was the problem. I will say that one of his public defenders did do everything and more that he could. He was asking for continuances. Unfortunately, we weren't getting any of our continuances granted. Um, they literally pushed him through within a matter of 6 months, from juvenile court all the way to adult court, because he was bonded over into adult court. And so over the years, we've uncovered a lot, and we were very fortunate and grateful that because of the advocacy work that I was already doing prior to finding all this information out, I was building a network. And by the grace of God, I started to watch Kim Corral, one of the best. Actually, she is the best, not one of. She is the best attorney here in Cleveland. I've watched her on other cases, um, and she's just. I knew she was going to be the one to bring my husband home. And even though she hasn't done it yet, I don't doubt for a second she will bring him home. Um, you can't argue all of the evidence, all of the new evidence, which is called here in, it's called Brady violations, exculpatory evidence that wasn't handed over to the defense when he originally went to trial. It's not just a couple of things. It's not just one thing, two things, five things. I mean, it's a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. And so that's why tomorrow is so crucial. He has this motion, and this could potentially vacate his conviction. This isn't just another court, or this isn't just another date on the calendar. That this could be the day that could crack the walls. And I hope that this turns into real progress. But honestly, it's terrifying. Every hearing, every motion, every reply, it all carries weight of decades. Every court appearance we will have will be just a reminder of how powerful this system has over a person's life. Um, Still, we show up, we stand up, we show up because we believe in the truth. We believe that Peter is very close to his freedom, and we can't back down right now. So, yeah, we hope that we see so many of our family and friends tomorrow. Like I said, tomorrow at 9:15ish, we'll be gathering outside the courthouse on One Lakeside Avenue here in Cleveland, Ohio, right across the street from the Justice Center. Um, his story isn't just his story, it's the story of thousands of men and women across the country. So, even more so around the world. Innocent people sitting in prisons and cages and cells right now because of errors and bias and misconduct, and indifferences. And we are excited that we are collectively coming together to combat these issues. They say 2% to 10% of people in prison are innocent. If we take the lowest number, that's tens of thousands of people, innocent lives just destroyed. And so that's why our fight is everybody's fight. Those that are affected aren't the only ones that are footing the bill for this. Taxpayers, we as taxpayers are. And it's time for us to stand up and take back um, our money that we work so hard for. Why are we spending billions and trillions and God only knows how much into these prison industrial complexes for wrongful convictions that the government, did? They're the ones that are responsible for these wrongful convictions. They are. If you look at wrongful convictions, all of the cases, like I said, are either misconduct, coerced witnesses. Um, it's all of the same stuff. So we're here to shine a light, and it's about saying we see you, we hear you, we won't stop fighting for you. It's about reminding the public that wrongful convictions are not rare. They're systems of broken systems. There's symptoms of broken systems. And it's up to us, the people, to fix this. So let me move along. We have Voices of Injustice putting on an amazing wrongful conviction play. I really highly recommend any and everyone to go, especially if you have no clue about the wrongful convictions that are coming out of our county left and right every day. There's so many cases that I court watch. I go and, sit in the hearings and the evidentiary hearings and all of them. I just sit and listen and watch because it's actually devastating to see what innocent people are going through. Um, I was ignorant to the system. I really was. And so that's why myself and Roberta have started this podcast, because we want those that don't feel like they're doing much for their incarcerated person, so that we can show them how to advocate for their person, right? So that they can one day, someday, be where we're at right now. My co-host, her husband is also innocent, wrongfully convicted. Um, by the grace of God, he is home free at the moment, but he's not free because he's not been exonerated, and that fight still continues. And so he is a part of the Voices in Justice group, and they've been doing an amazing job doing plays all across Ohio and even in other states and cities. The Lynched Among Us, their next play here in Cleveland will be September 5th at Playhouse Square. You can find information on how to purchase tickets by going to their Facebook page, Voices of Injustice, and they have a QR scan code and a link there. I can also drop them in the I'll drop it in the comments after I end this live, so that it's there in case someone wants to purchase a ticket and be there. But I absolutely recommend going to see it, and hopefully one day my husband will be on stage with them. So yeah, the truth is um, it's not just a me fight. This is an absolute we fight. And how do we figure out how we can bridge together and continue to grow our community? It's been growing every wrongful conviction day that we host our wrongful conviction rallies. We bring more people to the table. We have families that are coming from other cities and states just to be a part of our wrongful conviction day. And every year that community grows and it grows bigger. And so, how do we keep in tune to where it's not just on International Wrongful Conviction Day? How do we continue this movement every single day, 365 days a year? We have to. So I really, really highly recommend watching their play because it's just one small way that we can keep the movement and educating those that have no clue what's going on here in the real world because they don't pay attention to what the system's doing and they don't vote. They just don't care. It's not happening to them, right? So, yeah. Um, Let's see. We also have Wrongful Conviction Day. October 2nd, every year is Wrongful Conviction Day. Um, Myself, as EPIC's president, has been hosting these rallies, awareness rallies, to bring the much needed awareness around wrongful convictions. And I will say every year, um, like I said, more and more people are joining and becoming more educated and aware of what these injustices are doing and becoming more logical when it comes to voting and being very careful and doing their own research as to who we should be voting for, right? Um, it's not about just voting for the president. We have to start voting for our judges and our prosecutors, and we have to start doing our homework, period. If we don't do that, we're allowing the same old people to have control and power over our judicial system that is obviously not getting anything right. If you look at Cuyahoga County, we are the epicenter here of wrongful convictions. If we took the state of Ohio and pinpointed where wrongful convictions came out of, you wouldn't even see a number for Cuyahoga County because it would be one big blurb. So it's very important that we just continue, speaking up on these injustices and coming together for one another so that we can be more powerful moving forward. Because it is power in numbers. We've only been hearing that for our whole entire lives. So yeah. So we got wrongful conviction day. We've got September 5th, which is right around the corner. Voices of Injustice play. I will drop that link in the comments so that you can get your tickets today, right now, before it's sold out, because I do expect them to sell this out. I'm kind of upset I have to work because I'm going to end up missing it, but I'm thankful that I got to see it already. Every play they have different acts of those that are wrongfully convicted, and the men themselves that were wrongfully convicted are actually playing as themselves in these plays. So that's what makes it even more um tear jerking, is it's their own lived experience and they've turned it into something amazing, turned it into art, and has been bringing it to hundreds of people at a time. They just recently were at one of the high schools here. Um, yeah, go get your tickets. Don't let me keep talking about it. Just go get your tickets and we can talk about it on another episode. Let's see here. And then, yeah, husband's hearing. If you can, please, please, please show up, show up, show up, show up, show up for his hearing. We need to show up for each other's hearings. We need to show up online for each other. We need to show up when families are begging for support. Sometimes just filling a courtroom with people who care, right, can shift energy. So tomorrow I will be sitting in that courtroom for Peter, and so will so many others of you, and I promise you I'll be carrying every single one of those voices that aren't able to come with us with me, every single one of them with me. So yeah. So tonight's episode has been deeply personal. I know that we've had to postpone and put things off the last couple of weeks due to like I said, unforeseen circumstances. The devil's been working really hard because we know how powerful this here will be, and gradually but slowly it will come all the way together. And so I thank you guys for allowing me to share my husband's story with you and bring upcoming um, important dates and events that are literally right around the corner without my dear friend Roberta. And I know she's having a little, some personal issues. Just please pray for her. Nothing too serious, but we could always use them positive vibes and them prayers, right? She just unfortunately couldn't come on live with me today, but she will be back very soon. And with that being said, this is more than just a podcast. It's a movement, a community. Each and every one of you guys listening are a part of that, and you guys will help us grow. So please don't be afraid to share, like, comment, drop your ideas if you want to see any upcoming type of episodes, any guests, you got any special guests that you want to throw our way. We are slowly but surely getting things together, but I promise you, by episode, I'm not even going to put a number out there because we're only on the second one. We will be greater. And so, yeah, please continue to follow us. We're on Facebook. I'm sorry. We are on Facebook as the Ladies of Injustice. Speaking of the voices of injustice so much, I just keep throwing it out there. Ladies of Injustice, you can find us on Facebook. We also have a group that will eventually be for resources, and chat, like a chat. If you have anything you need to discuss, a support group. That's our Facebook group, but our Facebook podcast page is Ladies of Injustice, Instagram Ladies of Injustice, and you can find us on YouTube. Go subscribe to our YouTube so eventually we can bring this right here to our YouTube channel as well. We need to reach people in numbers, and every platform we can be a part of would just be absolutely amazing. So share our episodes, help us grow. If you're able, consider supporting us as we work towards becoming a 501c3 nonprofit. We want to be able to expand this fight even further. To the Peters and the Alfreds, to the wrongfully convicted souls, we see you, we love you, and we will support you all the way till the end. We will not stop until justice is served. I am Jeanna Kenney, and this has been the Ladies of Injustice podcast. Thanks for listening. Please keep my husband in your prayers tomorrow as we walk into this courtroom. Those that are planning on showing, please arrive promptly at 9:15. And just a little disclaimer, the courtroom is limited seating, unfortunately. So if you can't get into the courtroom, please do not be discouraged. We still need power in numbers. We need solidarity. We need you there to support. So please show up. Overflow, we will ask you to remain in the hallway, but your presence is definitely necessary. So until next time, friends, Roberta and I will be back in 2 weeks, and we will bring you the actual episode of Before the Lawyers. Have a great evening, guys.